All right, so this is much better now. I realized what I did, and I feel um, absolutely dumb. So I had everything on OBS on preview with a blank screen on the actual programming, and I didn't need to actually restart anything. It was just me being really dumb at what I do. So if you can hear me, let me know. If I need to turn up my audio, let me know. I am sorry for being retarded here. Or, sorry, I know that some people don't really like that. Sorry for being dumb at the moment. I just rolled out of bed. Excellent timing. Yes, sirree. What up, Pally? How's everything going? I I am apparently old and don't know how to use anything here. All right, good, 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 good. Okay, so welcome, Matt. Oh, the guy we just Munch 82, Migrana Oi. Oh well, lost a good one, maybe. I don't even know who he is, but sad to see people leave. It's nice to have people in the server, and yeah, all that good stuff. So welcome, Pally. Welcome, everybody. Let me know if you've got questions. Hello there, Cockles. Thanks for being a member. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you here. If Pally or Cockles, if you want to actually join in on the chat and you want to actually like call in, I can do that. And then we can chat the about lists or about whatever. It's up to you guys what you would like to talk about. But yeah, if Cockles you'd like to call in since you're a member, that'd be awesome. But that is up to you. So I'll kind of go over, I guess, a few different things. Maybe get some more people in here. It's just kind of fun to have a weekly chat with all of you guys to kind of check in, see what's going on, see if you guys have any. My missus watching the TV, so shall type for now. Sounds good. Okay, yeah. If in the future, I've got, let's see, next Monday and the Monday after that. Those will be the last 2 Mondays that I will be doing this for about 5 months. So if you get the chance to call in, definitely call in. I'll go ahead and we can check out some Empire. We'll check out the new battle forces that just kind of came out and kind of talk about them. And I'm not sure if we did a build. I don't think I did a build on the last live feed that we did. So we will just go ahead and check those out and talk about them right now. So, yeah, Commander Vader, which is not the best Vader in my opinion. I like Operative Vader more. There's some room for contention, but I think Operative Vader is far more dangerous than Commander Vader, and because of speed 2, because he has the possibility of surging to crit offensively, he can still get to 6 dice, and there's a ranged attack on there, and then you can still put choke and or burst and force push on there. He still has all of these keywords except for compel, but it's like instead of compel, you have Jedi Hunter, which I think can be better. Now I know Cockles, you are definitely for Commander Vader. I cannot blame you. I feel like everyone across the pond absolutely loves Commander Vader. Kids being kids in the background, and they just got home from school. Well, I hope they're having fun. It is the right time for after-school activities. Maybe you can put this on the TV. It could be a little good family affair, right? Best version of Vader is in Gar. Hey, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think it would be cool if, you know, they had. I guess you could technically make Anakin like the Vader Anakin, But yeah, so we'll go ahead and get in here. So we have Darth Vader, the Imperial Officer, the Imperial Agent. Then you've got the Riot Squad, Stormtroopers, Scout Troopers, the 74Z, E-Web, and all the heavies. I am expecting that we shall hopefully get the Wet Weather Stormtroopers in here. That would be cool. I have a feeling that they're going to be HRUs for that specific battle force, but that could be just me. So let's try Vader. You know, Vader has his thing of stormtroopers. Maybe we'll make this kind of like episode 4 themed. It's a USA versus the world thing. Yeah, hey, I mean, I feel like it's been like that for a while. What's up, Seaton? Have you had any thoughts about the 212th? I have had thoughts about the 212th. I have actually built a 212th. Well, since I've already built a 212th, I'll go over that, and then I'll go back to the Stormtrooper Battle Force, because I think that the Stormtrooper Battle Force could be a lot of fun. So, with that being said, let's go over the 212th that I've already built. So, I've got Clone Commander Cody with Improv and Seize the Initiative. I've got 2 Clone Trooper Infantry Squads. Both have a Clone Captain, the DP-23, and the Clone Engineer. I've got 2 set of ARF Troopers with the Jedi Guardian and the ARF Trooper Duo. You never really see the Guardian in here. It's just because, you know, I didn't have 4 more points, technically, for the RPS in all of them. 2 ATRTs with the laser cannon. I guess technically you could do the flamethrower. Depends on how you want to use the Divulge card. And then I've got a Saber Tank and an Infantry Support Platform. This is trying to kind of make the most out of observation tokens. With Cody and his observation, free observation, action, you've got the ARFs that have Observe 2 in case you do need it. The Saber Tank with the beam turret is going to hand out observations, and then the Infantry Support Platform, also with the twin beam cannons, is going to hand out some observations as well. And so Seaton has tried 3 different ways to make the Saber work, and it gets ioned to hell and back. Well, have you tried using the Clone Engineers? And if so, let me know if it's worth it or not. So it's 9 activations. You've got the Clone Shock Trooper pilot on here to be able to hand out a surge just in case for any unit, because it specifically just says a unit, so you can give you are a unit within one of yourself, so you could technically give the Saber Tank a surge token. You could also give the infantries, well, you don't need to give that, the ATRT a surge token. And Commander Cody can direct the Saber Tank for the free aim. And then you've got the ability to hand out, orders with the commands. I have, but only used 2. Yeah, that's what I've got in here, so I'm not sure if it's worth it or not. You got to keep the Saber at range 4 the best you can. It falls over dead at range 3. And I think that that's the hard part, which to me is okay. But I know obviously everyone's trying to move in really close. Cody is range 4, thankfully. So his gun is actually, he's able to kind of stay close by with the Saber Tank. And with the Saber Tank getting a free order and a free aim. And then you could possibly seize the initiative on Cody to give him the target 1 to free aim. And since you can share aim and dodges with the vehicles, you can use, Clone Commander Cody's aim with the beam turret. Turret, I should say, not turret. Beam turret to be able to, hand out all those observation tokens. And it's beam 2, so you beam and then you beam, and you've only got 1 aim. Obviously, it's red, and you do surge to hit. So it's really not too bad, but yeah, it's up to you. So Cockles went 1 and 2 with a 212th over the weekend. If you have the capacity to triple saber variant. Well, if you've got the ability to send that to me, I would not mind just taking a look at it at least. That'd be pretty cool. But the infantry support platform, all of them trying to utilize the observation tokens, especially for Cody's 1 pip and Cody's 3 pip. So basically allowing your guys to make free moves, especially since you've got the shotgun on the infantry squads. You're going to be able to get close enough each time, and then you could just basically do the free move with the observation token, and then you can aim and shoot. That way you are in a good spot, and you don't have to necessarily worry about moving and shooting. You get that extra aim, and if you had to give them a surge with the shock pilot, or not the shock pilot, the shock pilot, that could be at least an extra one to use. So Pally says, listen to the wills on Scoundrels. Sounds like the new objectives are better suited to long-range gameplay to open up the format a bit. Yes. I think that's what I've heard between the roundup or the takeaways from that video. I haven't actually gotten to watch it yet, but someone had done like a takeaways of it. And from what I've heard and understand about the new objectives, that is one of the better things, is that range 4 is going to be coming back. So that's why I think Cody will make a big comeback here. The range troopers, Imperial range troopers, should make a really good comeback. And the prepared positions is actually going to be fairly strong. I think that's what, I think that's what AMG was thinking about, were the new objectives when they first came out with the prepared positions. And that's why they were kind of maybe so expensive. But at the moment, with the way that the objectives are now, they decided to do the kind of decrease in points of the range 4 prepared position stuff, or just range prepared position stuff in general. I am excited to kind of see how the new objectives kind of work with range 4. Hopefully we kind of get a good reveal at some point soon, but I don't think so until Adepticon. I think that's what they were talking about in April. So whenever I get back, I'll be able to see all the new objectives, so I'll be very excited. For those observation tokens, sorry. So that is going to help with the clone troopers. Here, you have the clone engineers specifically for the Saber Tank or the ATRT. The infantry support platform, I don't really care about because it's got white saves, and if it goes down, it goes down. It's fast, yes, but your Saber Tank is a little bit more expensive, obviously, and your ATRTs could probably last a little longer. So maybe what I would do round 1, obviously you decide to divulge this. Give your only 2 core infiltrate, and then for each of the ARF troopers, which there's 2, you can choose a different vehicle to gain Scout 1. Your ATRTs already have Scout 1, so I think you could give them Scout 2, technically. Or you could at least give the Saber Tank Scout 1 and the infantry support platform, because the ATRTs already have that Scout 1. So that would be good. And then you could use, for round 1, the actual command card. Probably... Daring Defense is not the one that I meant to be on here. It was Flexible Strategy. That was the one that was supposed to be on here. Where is it? Boom. Okay. Yeah, let's change that real quick. So I think that you could do Flexible Strategy as the first one with this list specifically. Instead of removing a suppression, you can make a free speed 1 move. So you infiltrate, you do the free speed 1 move. Oh, wait. Well, actually, you can't because you're... So I wouldn't actually do this first round. That is a very good question. So maybe you could do air support. You don't have to do Have I Let You Down. You could just do air support. I mean, that's an easy, just a quick one. Give it to Cody. Give him the free aim. And post my list in the games in the Q&A chat. So let's take a look at that. Let me look over here. Live Q&A. Boom. Let's go over here. Live Q&A. Cockles. All right. Here we go. Let's take a look at your 212th. There we go. All right. So let's take a look at it real quick. We've got Commander Cody. Good choice. With improvised orders. You got the Jedi Knight with the Guardian, Burst, Peacekeeping Mission. Okay. And double-bladed lightsaber. The Peacekeeping Mission is the one that gives you what? Prepared positions, Reliable 2, and Sentinel, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check here. No, wrong one. The Peacekeeping Mission. Yep. Okay, so yes. Reliable 2 is really good. I like Force Adept, but Peacekeeping Missions are actually really good. You have one Clone Trooper Infantry with a shotgun, the whole squad, and Recon Intel. Okay. ARF Troopers to be able to give someone a scout, I'm assuming. With the RPS, the duo, you've got 3 Saber Tanks. 2 of them with the link targeting array, and then all 3 of them having the shock trooper pilot, beam turret, and yeah, that is insane. That's crazy. 3 Saber Tanks. Man, that's just so crazy to think about to begin with. And then you've got melee. 7 activations. Okay, you're going to have to tell me, Cockles. With 7 activations, you went 1 and 2. You get a lot of pass tokens. But with the Saber Tanks, really it's 2 dice against 3 units. So you're not really doing much. You have to kind of, I'm assuming, were you split firing a lot? Were you sending the Jedi Knight in against weaker units? Who was Cody targeting? And what did you decide to do with the ARFs and the Clone Trooper? And so, let's see. I didn't take the Scout card. Okay. Because you have just 1 Special Forces unit. Okay, that makes sense. You've got Flow of the Force. Yep, that makes sense. Bring It Down. Recon Division. Okay. Air Support. Okay, good. Affirmative General, which I like a lot. And Flexible Strategy makes a lot of sense. So, I'm assuming, let's see. Did you use Affirmative General round 1? Give your Jedi Knight in order. Allow the Scout Troopers to have a free Speed 1 move. And Cody to have a free Speed 1 move. Basically giving them Scout immediately. And then I guess you already have Scout on the Clone Trooper pilot. Let's see. Went 1 and 2. Game 1 lost because I was still waking up and unwell by 1 point to Rebel Vet Spam. Oof. That's go. I'll call in and I'll go upstairs. Okay. All right. Yeah, that'd be great. So what I would say is, in order for you to call in, let's chat in the whichever one. Let's see. How about is there a voice channel? The Tiki Bar? No. Tours of Duty. I'll try to invite you in on the interview channel. How about that? And then we'll get you all set up. So let me just see if I can even send you an invite to you. Let's see. All right, a copy of the Discord. Yep, I'll go ahead and get that for you, Seaton. Sorry, guys. I know that this is like a... We're going to edit this to just have no... Yep, generate a link, copy. I don't know if I can copy and paste it into the chat, but I will give it a shot. Yes, okay, there you go. I may have left when I took a 6-month-long break. Thank you. Yeah. Speaking of RPS, can we take a moment to fangirl over the cumbersome change? Yes, okay, so the cumbersome change. Tell me what the RPS is shooting now. So is it a black, white, white? When it takes a move? If you want to let me know about that, Pally, whenever you get the chance. Let's see. But yeah, that's his triple Saber Tank list. This one is mine. If we want, we can actually see if we can make a 10 activation one. Let's see. Let's go to Galactic Republic. Let's do black, white, white. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, it's not bad. You don't surge, sadly, so that's the only issue. All right, so we have Cody. Let's put at least the improv because I think that that's appropriate. If we have a melee piece, let's do, yep, the Guardian. I like Force Adept again because it's cheaper, and I can now do Burst and Clairvoyance multiple times. I should say at least probably twice because you're probably going to bring the card that allows them to recover. And so now you'll get Burst and Clairvoyance back. And you can use Clairvoyance then twice in case you do decide to fail a roll. Which happens quite often, but at least you have tactical and charge between the two. Let's do 2 not highly mobile units. We'll do the Clone Trooper Mortar. How about that? Because of the critical. And let's do the massive squads because that should be fun. We're not going to do Duggan or anything like that. Let's do an ARF Trooper squad with the RPS just in case, and the duo. Let's do 3 ATRTs. Let's do 2 flamethrowers. How about that? And 1 laser. We'll put comms jammer on the flamers. We're at 8 activations. I don't think we're going to get very far. And then boom and boom. Let's see. You've got a Lat now. Lat is going to take the shock pilot, and how about armor piercing shells? And then you got 23 points left, so you go with a shotgun trooper, and there you go. Maybe let's get rid of 1 squad. How about that? And then you can put a clone engineer on there just in case. Can't join the chat or the voice. Okay. Did you get the invite by chance for the chat? Hold on. Yep, I think I know what I need to do. Let me go back. I won't do this here. Let me do it on the other one. So actually, you know what? Let's just do this. Hold on. Go back here. Let's just call you here. Hello. Let me see if I can get you. Hey.
It works.
Yeah. All right. Let me go to the thing here and see if I can get your. So let's chat again, real quick.
Hello there.
All right. Yes. I can hear you, and I think everybody else can hear you. And so
I have no idea because I've muted myself off the thing now, so there we go.
All right, let's talk about your list. I'd like to hear what you did, what you thought of the.
Good evening.
The
and
your tournament.
Yeah, I had fun with it, but it's not the most optimal build of 212. And I was at a tournament with some pretty good UK players, all of whom will be representing the World Team Championships, like Andy, who obviously legendary player over this way, Lila, equally legendary, and another guy called Tom Curtis. So there were some players there with some credentials, and then me. So I took it because I hadn't run the Jedi Knight yet. So I was like, right, screw it, I'm definitely taking that, and I'll just run Triple Saber because it'll be a laugh. And the logic was, and we came to a consensus that the Jedi Knight actually is a really good, really, really good at that build as a light melee threat. The Guardian obviously gives him charge, but then you get the double-bladed if you then add tactical to it. So you can burst of speed, so 2 speed, 3 moves, 2 aims, and then whack the bejesus out of something. And you do very well. And you've got RAM, and it's just really good. It did very well, and that command card that it's got, the Pip 1, where you can, it's like the Kenobi light card, the hello there. In the second game I played, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go into Vader. It might not be the best idea, but I went into Vader, got the charge off, did a couple of wounds to him, survived the clapback by making my saves and only taking 1 wound. And then in
Nice.
the next turn, I played that pip 1, and he played a 2 pip, the one with all the standbys from Krennic. And so he put a standby invader. I was like, this is not going to go well. However, I managed to kill enough things, and he forgot to pass, meaning that his Vader went before me. So as soon as he went, I'm going to take a dodge, I went, stop you there, I'm going to do a standby, thank you very much. And he went, oh no. And he knew it because he had Andy sort of watching him going, you sure you're going to do that? You sure you're going to do that? And I gave him a chance, and he said, yeah, I'm definitely going to take a dodge. And then I basically hit into Vader with the lightsaber again, a couple more wounds, and it took him down to 1 wound, having then took 2 more back. So, and then he decided to move Vader away. And it was like, well, okay, this is interesting. When it worked out quite well. So that game 2, I probably shouldn't have won. I should have won game 1. I shouldn't have won game 2. But game 3, advice, if you're taking 212 and you're taking a heavy vehicle variant, as in the triple heavy, like a triple saber, don't make your tanks the vanguard.
Okay.
Because that new mission, they want to move up on 1 to try and get to the other point to score the flag point, but the other 2 then had to stay there and be like, well, they're fixed. And my opponent basically hid his stuff, and I couldn't get shots on him. So he was able to just quad taunt me to death, which was not fun. So that was that. But it was a good fun tournament. It was good to run it. It was fun to run. I can give you some logic on the command cards if you like.
Yeah, that'd be
and tell
great.
you why I took certain units. So, Cody standard, obvious. Improvised orders speaks for itself. The knight, that's that. The big squad, I am of the opinion at the moment that big dice pools are king in the game, and you want to have something with big dice pools to counter other people's big dice pools. And when you're a Republic player, you don't have many units that have a giant dice pool like the Separatists do, like the Rebels do with Sleeper Cell or Vets and stuff. So you need something with that, and I thought I'd do that, and that's a red save unit as well with Pierce. So it is a big threat, and my brain was thinking I've got the threat of triple saber, a knight, and a big squad. Threat saturation for me would be quite heavy, and then they'd have to pick their targets. So that worked out quite well for me, and I quite like it. It was just fun to work. Recon Intel as well was put on there, and because I decided I wasn't going to take that scout card because I'm only taking effectively two trooper units that works with. One will have the recon intel for 8 points, and the ARFs have scout native. So there's no point in me doing all the scouting stuff. And I thought, you know what, I've only got 1 special forces, so there's no point in doing a scout move with a tank, because when the tank goes on at speed 2 anyway, you're in range of things if they don't put it in the right place. Because that goes on, it moves speed 2, and the tank is just, well, it's there, it's range 4 for most things if they've pushed up. So that was my theory. ARF troopers, I enjoy ARF troopers. They're low profile, kept me in it for some stuff. I think the duo is really handy. You spend the cash on the first shot when you get your attempted alpha strike, so the cash surge goes straight away anyway. And then the RPS, you can't complain. I know you were speaking about the cumbersome in a bit. I didn't have an issue with the cumbersome for them because they'd already scouted on and they were taking shots. It didn't really come into play for the rest of it because they just held their position and held the POI if they needed to hold PO, or they held where they needed to hold to counter attack. And the trip sabers just, well, they're big tanks with big guns. And the beams, dead Andy in the first game where I was just beaming onto Rebel Vets, then a Mark, another Rebel Vets, and just basically putting suppression on. The issue what I should have done is chosen my targets better. I chose to shoot FDs, thinking, they're gonna kill the tanks, instead of shooting primary target of Mark 4s and then piling on damage that way. But that was a mistake from me. Plus, my opponent decided to have hot dice, and I do mean hot dice. You just sometimes, and it was amazing. Playing against a mate of mine, Tom. He's a brilliant guy, and it was just one of those things. It was like, oh bugger, and he won by a point. Just because he managed to just outscore me on recover the research, but I managed to do some damage on him. But a lot of damage. The general, excuse me, the general way the game went was I would whittle down his activations gently, 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 gently. He only took out one tank, but he was able to take out my Jedi because he had Op Luke. But
Mm.
my sacrifice of my Jedi played out quite well because as soon as he was like, well, I killed that, and he's like, uh-oh, and then all my tanks just went, oh, you killed that Jedi, did you? Ba-bang! And that was Op Luke gone. Han Solo is a clone killer. What's that? PS2? Sharpshooter? Bye-bye. They've gone. 2 hits, done, gone, that sort of thing. So yeah, that was that. That was pretty much it. I should have won that game. I shouldn't have won game 2, so it was just a flip reverse, really. But yeah, but don't. If I have game 3 again, I say heck no to Outflank with this list. I don't think 212 wants to play. 212 wants to play unless it's a larger, like a 10-act variant. I don't think he wants to play Outflank
Okay, it's just
at all.
harder with the Vanguard tokens, and it's just harder splitting up with 7 activations, or at least with the tanks.
Yes, although if I do that again, I don't give it to the tanks. I give it to Cody. I give it to the ARFs, and I give it to probably one tank, and maybe the Jedi actually as well, because they're quick movers and hide behind cover, whereas the tanks don't. The tanks wanted to be moving around, taking out stuff, whereas the other stuff, the ARFs. So if you're looking at the outflank mission here, so I had I was blue, and I had the left pin. So my tanks, all 3 of my tanks had to come on that side. He had Tauntauns come on from the top and from the right hand side. So he split his up. He put an Imperial agent Rebel agent and 2 Tauntauns on his flank, the Vanguard. I had all my 3 tanks, so I couldn't kill the things that were coming out that get him the scores, that get him the points, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So hindsight is I make I do ARFs, Cody, and maybe one tank, maybe the Jedi, depends what I do. And they're the outflank units. The tanks just sit in the middle and just go, come at me. I'll put them in and have them just go one pointing straight forward, one slightly turning to the right, one slightly turning to the left, and I'll just shoot everything that's in front of me because I've got the range to shoot you. What happened in this game as well is I decided to put my Jedi, who's got 5 wounds. Now, there's a problem here. I put him on the right-hand side, hidden in cover. His rebel agent came on. It's the gun rebel agent. Managed to do 4 wounds in one shot, and I was like, well, that's a problem for me for the rest of it. And then he got rammed by Tauntauns, so I was like, oh, that's a problem. That's my melee threat gone, and that was my counter to the Tauntauns, really. And I had nothing to be able to put the hurt the opposite way. Some ARFs tried to do some stuff. Some clone troopers, the big infantry squad tried, but it wasn't to no avail. I lost that game heavily. But in hindsight, I look back and go, I don't play that game ever. I don't pick that mission. We also had supply run, so he had the maneuverability with the Tauntauns to pick up stuff with the supply tokens. A bit like the old claim their supplies from pre-2. He was able to outmaneuver me and claim and do these things before I could do anything. So he was able to outscore me at every point. But it is what it is, and you live and learn. So I didn't have that. If I don't have that game, I now know what to do next time. If that makes sense.
Yeah. If you
Go for it.
if you had a different type of list, what would be your strategy? Like if you didn't have a 212 and you just had like a normal style list, what would be your favorite strategy for outflank?
A bark to capture the one in the middle. If I take, say, I look at my previous list, like a triple bark, bad batch, something. It's probably going to be a bark to go get yourself one of the middle ones, or a far point. I use the speed to come on at that. So if I'm blue again, I'm looking at the map and my deployment. If I pick a bark or a very quick unit, something that moves at speed 3, ISP, for example, or Tauntauns or whatever, just gallop as quick as you can along to get one of the middle points, or a far point if your opponent is neglecting to look after them. Try and get there as quick as possible. Dewback could probably do that quite well. Lots of spur. That could probably do it quite well. CIS, you could probably do that with some droidicas or stabs. So do one quick unit and then do 2 units that are good at holding the line. Or a support unit that's basically just, if the table works out and you've got a piece of terrain, you can hide that hide that individual unit behind a piece of terrain, so it's in range of the flanking outflank points. Get that just to hide there. It just doesn't have to do anything. It's just going to score you the extra flag point, and have something that's going to be a very good gun line and a threat to a big squad of clones, a big squad of stormtroopers, something scary. I mean, even something like Vader, if you want to, will come at me. Then I'm just going to try and score all these points while other things go on that way. That's how I would look at it. The next time I try and play it.
Okay.
It's a really interesting mission, I think, but there's certain lists that you don't want to do it with. There's some lists you want to. I think a gunline list would do well with this because you can just move your gunline stuff onto it. If you pick like the hard, heavy output stuff, and then go right. Well, there they are, two of them there. They can sit on the flanking the flanking point while the other one goes and tries and gets the points, and just shoot into the flank of your opponent, if that makes sense.
Yes. No, definitely. So, just in case, put all the speedy ones on the flank, and then all your gunliney ones in the middle.
You could, you could put the gunline ones in the middle. You could, to be fair, if you're playing a gunline, you'll have more than one. But I'd do one speedy, two strong units then, and then you can put everything else in the middle to try and shoot the hell out of everything else, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Just to hold down that flank one, and then the speedy one to kind of go towards that middle and other stuff.
Yeah, Bad Batch would be quite good at that, I think. Bad Batch would probably be a good vanguard unit, unless they are. No, you can do that because as long as it's not a commander. Oh yes, they can't do Cody.
Right.
Non-commander. Yeah, so you could do Bobber, Din, Bosk. Bosk could be a fun one because you could just hide him behind something. If you have to, if the table works out, you can hide him behind some terrain and hide him there. Bobber, Din. Your good operatives like your Cassians, your Bad Batch now. Yeah, that's how I'd look. I think that's how I would do hindsight on that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you want to get the third, you want to keep 2 on 1 on the flank side one. You want to get the other one as quickly as possible to the middle to keep scoring flag points where you can, that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah, I'm assuming like some sort of like long range. Do you think then? I know that it's not the very popular gun for now, but if you did choose Din and you did choose that primary, would you think that the Amban rifle is actually worth it then?
I think that is down to a personal preference for me. If you are an Anban player, because I prefer him with the Beskar spear, because I think if someone gets him into melee, you're doing, what's the Beskar spear? Two red and a black, isn't it?
Yes.
Or is it? Yeah. So I would do the Beskar spear because he's also got Arsenal 2. Uses lethal blasters. You're then rolling 4 red, 2 black with all of with lots of keywords like lethal and all this sorts of stuff in melee. Mm-hmm. And that's what 4 red, 2 black. That's better than Kenobi's Jedi.
Yeah.
Kenobi's lightsaber, excuse me. So that's how I'd look at that. But I like running him. When I've run Din, I also run him with Grogu because it's fun. Because now you have effectively 5 turns, 5 command cards. You can use the Grogu card as the 6th, and then if you need to, whack out the hand thing for a bit of a laugh. I've had fun with that.
Yeah, that's gotta be fun.
That's how. Yes, and then you've just put tenacity in there as well. So if you put tenacity in there, you'd have 5 and 2. So that's pretty dang good. Mm-hmm. With lethal, so you have is Pierce on the Beskar? I can't remember what's on the Beskar. The other keyword on there.
It's just duelist.
Oh, duelist. So yeah, so they're immune. They lose their immune to Pierce, or do you? Yeah, they lose their immune to Pierce.
Yeah,
something like that.
You're immune to Pierce. If you spin the dodge.
Oh yeah, you gain your. Sorry, yeah, you're gaining your immune. I'm thinking of the stupid. What's it called? Dooku stuff.
Yeah, Dooku. Makashi.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Makashi the other way around. Yes, that's it. That's what the Wookiees have, isn't it? That's it. It's 11:15 over here. I'm trying to remember stuff. And as you can hear by my voice, recovering from the flu. It's great.
Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that,
dude. The whole of last week, I was off. Tuesday to Friday, I was off work, and then I went to the tournament on Saturday. I've got to go back to work on Monday. I'm playing tournament games, and that was it really. So yeah, that was my experience with 212. It's not the variant I ran is we discussed between me, Andy Lyler, and Tom Curtis, and just said, look, that's not the optimum, but it was fun. It was good to experiment with. We settled on that if you're running a tier one 212, it should have 9 activations if you're running a melee Jedi, or
Okay.
10 if you can get all the clones, and you run it. And this Lila and Andy were talking about running it like an EXD list, and I was like, what? You basically have the clone troopers naked, just as batteries for the tanks. So they just go dodge aim, thank you very much. Tanks sit there and go, cool. I'll have your dodgers' names when I need to do it. Bang bang done. And you've got all the core doing that sort of stuff. And I was sitting there thinking, oh my god, what have we just discovered? Is it an EXD version of 212 for clones and red saves? That's a scary, scary thought. So I expect to see those two running and experimenting with that at some point soon.
Okay. Man. Yeah. Let's see. Nah, because
As a trip saver.
you can get a really good amount of stuff in there. Oh, I wish I had.
Mm,
If there's 4 points, oh, comms jammer, boom, get rid of that. So you've got. Oh well, you don't have. Then that's 2 points over. I guess if you got rid of the RPS and you decided to do the clone captain or a medic, I mean, even
let
that's 10
let me
activations. With
let me see what they came up with. So it was 212. Let me get down there. Bing. 212. Bit of a battle forces. 212. Cody. Trip savers. 2, 3. Each had the shock trooper pilot. Each had the beam. And that's we'll set there for a second. Then we have clone infantry. Times 2, I think it was. And then I think it was ARFs times 2. And he's still at 861. So he might be able to put the third half in, and then do two. There we go. That was it. There we go. I'll tell you what it is without upgrades, and you can go and see what you think. So there was Cody, 2 infantry, 1 marksman, 2 triple ARFs. So you could drop an ARF, put some upgrades on it, and then you get that's your 9. Trip saber with beam and shock trooper pilot, and that gives you 977 with some change. So you could drop. You could drop the marksman and then spend the remaining 27,373 on upgrades for the rest of the stuff, and you still got 9 activations. And you'd basically just use the troopers as batteries for the tank, plural. You've got trip halves, so you've got the ability to do trip scout with the saber if you take that command card. So yeah, fill your boots. That was what they. So they were doing stuff like that, and I was like, dude, what have I done? What have I done?
yeah,
I've given them ideas,
that sounds
all that sort of stuff.
just really really good in general.
Um, I think it was the possibility of they kept saying it's like a clone EXD, but without nimble on the snails, which I get. But the other command cards as well. So you're the other stuff that's in there. So your game position one, no, not game position, excuse me, recon diversion. That you can set that up. You play that one turn, you play the following turn, you play bring it down, because everything gains observe. So everyone has an action. All troopers, I should say, gain observes an action. So that means Cody will be observing 3. So you should be able to put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 observe tokens out in that turn. Assuming they don't get spent, the next turn you've already got 8 observe tokens on, and then Cody can do his observe 2 more times. So you'll have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then each one you spend, it does either the impact or the suppressive. So take your pick your poison. Because every time you spend it when you do an attack, you gain suppressive or impact. So pick your poison on that one. That's a good combo. What was the other stuff that works out? Flexible strategy is fun. That got me out of the chat. That got me out of the board without having to really worry about cumbersome stuff. So when a trooper unit is issued an order, it goes, well, there's a speed 1 move. When it comes to its activation, it's already done the speed 1 move. So for the ARFs with the rocket with the RPS, it was rockets away, if that makes sense.
Yes.
That was good. It also synergizes as well if you have one or two, well, a few vehicles with linked target array, because you can go, well, I'll give Cody one. So that's one. He's definitely got his target, and then I'll give 2 to 2 vehicles. Oh, those 2 vehicles, by the way, also have linked target array, so they've got 2 aims.
Oof.
So yeah, exactly. And then if you have the third vehicle and Cody has,
The direct.
and Cody directs it, he then goes, well, you can have it as well. Oh no, you've only got 1 aim, but don't worry, I've got my target aim. So when the tank shoots, I go, I'm just going to spend Cody's aim, so they've got the spare aim that kicking around, or off of any other infantry as well, because you share the tokens with the infantry.
Right.
So yeah, lots of sharings going on. The clone shock trooper pilot as well. I think he's a staple for all vehicles in the clones, because as soon as you shoot an attack, you get surge token to anyone within any allied unit. So you can stick it on a Jedi at range 1. They gain the surge token, and obviously clones love their spare surges, don't they?
Well, then, do you think that the marksman actually would be pretty decent, since the shock trooper can just hand them a surge, and then you've now got a cheaper option for a core, and you don't have to worry about the reliable?
Yes and no. Only that it depends which way if you are looking to get the strike off first, then you want regular infantry because you use their surge. Sorry, you won't need to use their surge. You surge hit. You could use that for defense. So you probably want to use regular clone infantry for their surging on the defensive side of the game. If you are able to get the tank shots off first, then yeah, give them to the marksman. But you probably want to keep the surges around for defensive stuff for yourself.
Okay.
I think it depends. I would go game by game, but more often than not, your heavy hitters, if you're doing it this daft 9 activation, super competitive, EXD, stupidly cloney thing, you're using all the tokens on the tanks. You're not really using the tokens so much on the infantry. You hide them and use them as batteries to just go to farm out tokens for everyone else. I get what you said about the marksman, but I think you're going to want to use regular infantry to use their surges, their native reliable, for the tanks to defend. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because I know that.
But you can also, yeah, go on.
Well, I know that you can share aims and dodges, but I know you can't share the surges, and so that's where that shock trooper you can even give it to yourself with that.
Yes, you can give it to yourself. So yeah, or give it to another tank.
Yeah.
So if you know you've got one tank who's being pummeled, because normally what would happen is you pick a tank and that's your focus fire. Well, give all the surges to that one, if that makes sense.
Yes.
That's how I'd do that anyway.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Excuse me. It was fun. Again, like I say, though, game 3, I wouldn't pick. If time gives me that game back, I'm like, hell no, I'm not playing that mission just because we want to try it. No, because then I realize, quad tauntauns. No, not happening. You're gonna have bunker assault. Come at me, bro, and see what happens. And that would have been what I would have gone for. I would have liked to have had bunker assault with marked targets. It's like, okay, you can kill my tanks. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And then he would have gone, and then he probably would have said, all right, kill my tauntauns, and just kept them out of the way and trying to go around me. But who knows what happens. You also, you spoke about cumbersome there. I had this in my head and I was just trying to need to remember it. Cumbersome for rebel vets, for rebel vets with Mark IVs, the turrets, is pretty damn good now still. So your rebel Mark IV turrets can now go plonk, 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 move, and then do the whole B1 thing with crits, because they crit too.
Yeah. Just 4 white dice, critical too.
There's 4 white dice and they're going to crit too. It's like, oh, that's just not fun. So they are. I did not enjoy those plenty of white dice coming at me in the first game, blinking away at my tanks, because he went to Echo Base and he took like 5 vets, 4 Mark IVs, 2 FDs, and it was just like, oh, lots of emplacement stuff. It was a struggle, and they kept blinking away at tanks. I lost 2 tanks in that game.
Ouch.
Yes, in fact, that was the most tanks I lost out of all the other games. Everyone else either had one or didn't bother. So that was an experience.
Did he have dug in on any of them?
Oh yeah, and that's the mistake I made. I made in turn one. I made the mistake of shooting the FDs instead of the Mark IVs because I was thinking FDs have more impact. Forgetting the crit two on the turrets, on the small turrets, the blaster turrets.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a mistake from my part. But that was because I had been up since 6 in the morning, driven to said event, and was still recovering. So that's why I put that to.
Uh, no, yeah,
That's how I
the
look at it anyway.
FD cannons are just extremely annoying with the range 5.
Oh yeah, and then Duncan as well. And I kid you not, I managed to get in his op loot because he was trying to swing round. I had one open shot on him. I got through 7 hits and get off his red dice. How many did he save? Do you reckon? Out of 7,
Let's see.
straight off 7.
Oh,
It's just like I've got a great hit on Luke, and he saves all 7 of them. It's like, oh, you son of a, ah, that was not funny. That was just like, that's how the game's going to go, is it? That's what's going to happen.
that's
But
rough,
there we
man.
go.
Especially
It
like,
was. It was fun.
oh well,
It
yeah,
was
no,
still fun though
definitely,
because it's against the mates, so it was still good fun.
man. Yeah, I think that just rebel spam in general is extremely tough, and to me, it's tougher than CIS spam.
I'll tell you what this was that rebel spam list because it's the other thing that didn't help is I miscalculated how many passes I had. I underdid myself by 3 passes, so where I had 7 activations, he had 14, and I don't know why. I think he and I both were very tired. We just inexplicably just went, oh yeah, I've got this amount of passes, but I should have had like 7 or something or whatever it was. No, it wasn't 7.
6, yeah.
I should have had 6, and I gave myself 3.
Oh,
So that didn't help. That was me being Muppet mode, but there we go. His list was, I'm just getting it up. I'll read it out. Tom. There we go, Longshanks. He had Rebels, Echo-based defenders, 14 activations. Oh, he had Commander Luke, not Op Luke, excuse me.
okay.
Commander Luke with Clairvoyance, seizing. Oh, that was it. It was his Clairvoyance roll that gave him 7, because I initially pushed through 4 of 7. He then Clairvoyanced it into 7 of 7.
Oh,
That was what was upsetting. Yeah, so he had Clairvoyance, Seize Initiative, Prepared Supplies, Han Solo with Improvised Orders, and Up Close Personal, and Chewie with Protector. He then had 5 Rebel Verts with the CM Heavy, 4 Mark IIs, and 2 FDs with Duncan for 14 activations, 1,000 points on the nose.
and Chewie had what again?
Protector, just for
Okay.
the crit guardian, the guardian of the crits. The Lila won. She was running Rebels. She was running a 12-act Rebel list, which was 2 Rebel officers, a Rebel agent, a Ahsoka Tano, a Mark II, times 2 of them, 2 Rebel vets, 1 with a CMO, and then the other one had a big squad, Cassian Andor, the Heavy, some Slingers, a Sleeper Cell, and 2 swoops. She loves swoops.
Mm-hmm.
She loves the swoop bike. She's a big advocate for that. So yeah, she won that. She went 3-0. And in the final beat another very good player called Tom Curtis, who was running Grievous on the wheel bike, Kalani, Sunfac, an STD auxiliary droid, squad of Geos, 5 B1s with the 60, and 3 crabs. And Tom's a very good droid player.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's some not did good variants in there. The Vader list I beat was it's not on Longshanks, cheeky monkey. He didn't put it up there. Disgraceful. Yeah, it was Vader, Triple Jews, Death Troopers, Krennic, Imperial Agent, 2 Snows, and something, and a small group or something like that. But they all had stuff in, and they all had heavy firepower. which was not fun to play into. There we go.
Yeah, I feel like Commander Vader and Dues are still one of the absolute best Empire builds out there.
Yep. Yes, yes, yes. You said it correctly. Commander Vader over Operative Vader.
Well, just that list
That's
archetype, I should say.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's I think, and it's still I think it's solid. It's not got an inherent weakness. The I think the inherent weakness is if you misplay Vader, because the he particularly Commander Vader is harder to play with, but the consensus in this side of the Atlantic is he's much more rewarding if you get it right, but he's much less forgiving if you make a mistake with him. If you make a mistake with him, he's either too far away to do anything, or he's exposed. So that causes problems. Yeah, that's that's the take on that's my take on Commander. I'll be honest, I've not really played him much. I played him a few a smattering of times, but not like a lot because the Empire is not my main faction.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, he's the compel stuff because you can put those like, oh look, I put suppression on stuff, and he's just going to go, well, I'm going to compel, and it's like, god damn it, they still moved because they still get the move and the shoot, and that is brilliant on snowtroopers. It's like, stop it. And he's relentless. He killed a tank with a relentless move, and then he just went, I'll throw my lightsaber at it, and he threw it at a tank, and it had 3 wounds left, and obviously pierced 3 impact. He was like, well, that's dead then. So yeah, but he then got eight tank off the next shot himself. So there we go. I've just seen TTO update some cards. They put in Thrawn and Tarkin in there, which
Oh
is
yeah.
something to look into.
Yeah, they've been able to
I
put
haven't properly looked.
a whole bunch of different cards in there. They just obviously have no points or anything because I don't think we'll find out what those points are anytime soon.
No. That'll be a next year thing probably at some point when it all a month before they release kind of thing.
Man. Well, yeah, no, I think I'm excited for Empire. I really like the fact that they finally have Tarkin in there with pulling the strings and Entourage Darth Vader. So I guess I'm assuming you're going to be using Grand Moff Tarkin and Commander Vader quite often because even though he's speed 1, at least that, pulling the strings and getting Vader to move an extra speed, or at least one extra move
Yes,
is going to be so much better.
I think that would be it. I think that would be a good idea. His ability to direct as well is something to be on Thrawn. Because can you do Tarkin, Thrawn? Yeah, you can do Tarkin, Thrawn, and Vader.
Yeah, because you have Entourage.
Entourage on Tarkin, yeah. So you can pull the strings of Tarkin. You've got direct with Thrawn, so you can do some really interesting stuff on there. I think the Imperial High Command stuff is going to be a cool addition for the Imperial roster. I will play it. I will try and give it a go and all this. So I'll have it and play it and see what goes on. My one regret will be that I won't be able to play it because too much competitively because for World Team Championship in my team I am not the Imperial player. A chap called Tony Fox is the Imperial player, so he'll probably be looking at that and seeing what goes on, all that sort of stuff. I am probably going to. That's no probably. I'll probably be the clone player for our little team.
Yeah,
and captaining as well. So that's an interesting one.
Hey, okay, that should be a fun team then.
Our 4th team came down to the WTC England selection was every time. So obviously, if those who are watching listening don't know, World Team Championships happened last year in England. England won it. You're welcome. The year before, it was won by the French in Spain. This year, it's being held in Denmark, and every country who enters can enter 4 teams. So it was decided that as previous champions, Jeff, Ollie, Lila, and Dave, Gold Squadron as I call them, Jeff, Ollie, Lila, Dave. See what I did there. They get to retain. They get to play again, retain. But because we had more people apply who'd not been and/or people wanted to play, we had to do some form of randomisation with it. So it went with experience, and then they could choose the experienced players. But in their fourth member of the other two teams had to be a person who'd not been before, and then the fourth team was pure random with three of anyone, and then the fourth had to be a person who'd not been before. So I got lucky. I got random rolled in. They recorded it all, and it was just like, oh, there's me, thank God. So yeah, so it's a really good choice, really good opportunity. It's going to be in Denmark this year. It's going to be fun. The Danes are a great bunch to play with if ever anyone gets the chance to play with them. And that's not till May. But everyone, I think, when it comes, it'll be Adepticon practice, Worlds practice, and then everyone will sort of get an idea of what you'll see in that at that tournament. I think it'll be a sort of a hint into there. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually pretty interested to see what a lot of people are going to be bringing to Worlds now that we've had a points adjustment a little bit, and um,
It's it's. I think the Wild West has opened up again in terms of points have come down. So what's everyone going to do? I still think you're going to see the usual suspects of EXD. I still think you're going to see the usual suspects of we've said about Vader Jews and stuff like that. It will be a question of will the 212th have an impact on if people take lots of anti-vehicle stuff, i.e., will ion spiders be a thing? But at the same time, will somebody have a clever idea and go, I see your triple sabers, I raise you Tempest Force.
mm-hmm. I
Um,
think 212 will be
and see
there.
what goes there.
I just think we'll probably
Oh,
see it
I wonder, what?
with Kenobi.
That is something I will try, and I'm going to experiment with Kenobi triple ISP and then stuff, and then see what happens. I'm going to try a triple ISP because it seems daft not to try the daft unit. I know it's not the best, although Isaiah won worlds with it, so we'll see what ISPs can do.
Yeah, and if anyone's going to be playing 212, I feel like he should be playing 212 because of the fact that he's a really good Kenobi and ISP player.
So my direct message to him was, and I'll quote, I'll just look at it, and I said, as soon as it came out on the mini, he said, if you don't go trip ISP to defend your world's title, I'll cry. And he said, I have to try something crazy.
I would like to see
And
what he
having hung out
tries.
with that guy when he and having hung out with that guy when he came over to the UK for WTC this year, he's a crazy guy himself. So yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Yeah, I would actually
I
like
like
to.
what Canadian Bear buys.
No, go ahead.
I like what Canadian Bear said in the chat, by the way. He said it must be triple flamer RTs with Scout 2. Oh, hello.
With Comms Jammer, you got to have Comms Jammer on it.
You could do, and also if you run that into the Ewoks, burn the Care Bears. What they say. That seems like a very Canadian thing to do.
Yes, I mean I feel like you got to burn the Care Bears, or else they're literally going to turn into murder bears.
That also will be. I think you'll see Brightree 15-14 at Brightree still. Your man in France, Antoine René, is still running it and still winning stuff. He won the French Masters event a couple of weeks ago with his standard. Oh, I'm taking million Ewoks, and he still wins it. And that's been a list that he's run for 2 years now. So as in it's 2 years old, and people still haven't figured out how to stop it, or stop it winning, I should say. Anyway,
Yeah, every time I played against the 14-15 acts of Bright Street Village, you never know where to go, and because there's always super squads, and then you still have the ATST to contend with, and then you still have all the heroes to contend with, and then it's just extremely difficult to figure out what to do first, and even survive all the black dice coming your way, regardless.
yeah, it's I don't think 212 if you take the Trip Saber does very well into it because you get out activated and you can't kill the other stuff because there's so many in the squad and your dice pool's not big enough. So I wouldn't want to face that with lots of vehicles. But there we go. I'm trying to think of any thread that came up from the weekend that from my 212 discovery and my 212 adventure journey, but I don't really. I think I've sort of kind of covered it. Um, other than just sort of like with the command cards, don't feel compelled to take the those cards, the 212 cards, if you're taking other stuff and there's a better choice. So I took the Jedi Pip one for the Hello There Light card, if that makes sense, over the over the 212 one pip.
Sneak attack.
Yeah, because if I just bring it back, if I bring it up, and I think that's a trap you can fall into, that you feel like you're obliged to take certain cards if you take certain things. It's like, no, take command cards that are to your style and what you're doing for your list, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, where was it? Sneak attack. Yeah, sneak attack only goes to one unit, and that's the scout stuff. Oh yeah, so it's the scout stuff. I didn't take it because I didn't have 2 clone trooper units, and I only had 1 special forces unit, so there's no point in taking it because I wasn't bothered about scout on my vehicles, because I knew that you bring on a tank with a range speed 2, it's going to be in range of stuff to shoot. I didn't really, and it didn't, and I don't have 2 clone trooper units, clone core trooper units to give infiltrate to. So what was the point?
Right.
So I took the 1 pip off the Jedi one, and it's like that. Well, I'll get more play out of that than I would sneak attack. Yeah. The other command cards I took were so I had the 2 Jedi ones because I had the 3 pip on there. I didn't take combined arms off Cody because the movement, I got the same movement from the
affirmative general.
The Jedi card. Yeah, you get the same movements. You know, in combined arms, a heavy attacks and a unit can do a speed, or a unit with a face up can move and all this sorts of stuff. The affirmative general, I can do the same thing by reducing the orders and just going, well, each clone troop unit without a face up order token each may make a speed 1 and remove a suppression. So, oh look, I've got 3 clone troopers. Thank you very much. I'll move Cody, I'll move the ARFs, and I'll move the core that I had. So I got more play out of that than I did than I would have got for combined arms.
Yeah, and you don't have to like shoot first and put observation tokens on there to use them.
No,
to
exactly.
get that
And it was
move.
and it's immediate as well. So if you know you're in a bind and go, I need to hide stuff because I've got something coming at me like a dewback, I'm just going to drop back a touch, and then that dewback is now, because they've probably pre-measured and gone, I'm ready for spur charge next turn and munch. All of a sudden, I've dropped back. No, you can't. But I'm still in range to shoot you. And I can move if I want to. And it was kind of like, And that set up a couple of shots to help me kill some dewbacks. It was like, baited them in, then dropped back. Shot them a lot. They went down to either 1 wound or 2 wounds. And it was like, well, there's problems for those dewbacks. So it's a good cut. I think that affirmative general was actually really, really good command card in general.
Yeah.
It's just it's the remove the extra suppression as well is handy one. It's kind of like No Time for Sorrows, but with that addition, if that makes sense.
Yes. No, it does. I always use it for the free moves, especially with clone commandos. Getting them at least into a better position, or at least allowing them to do a free move and then recover and shoot still, while still getting a movement in. So I really like that card.
Correct.
With the commandos.
Yep. I think if anyone's thinking about when they're playing games and they're like now, it's like, because now into the Legion era of movement is key. Movement and big dice balls. Anything that gives you free moves, I think, is worth considering over something that gives you like you can now take an extra surge, or you can take a aim. If something's giving me an aim, unless I'm really definitely 100% going to attack next turn, it's like I'm not really bothered by that so much anymore. Yeah, I'll take stuff that gives me movement so I can be more canny and manipulative going forward, if that makes sense.
Yeah, especially with the objectives that we have now, and like with shifting or recover or anything like that, where you just got to get across the board. Those free moves are very helpful.
Oh, into shifting that card would be brilliant. I'll take that all day long. But you've effectively got other cards. The 2/12 other card as well. The Pip 2 does that as well. You're getting lots of free movement from. I got lots of free movement. Sorry, from that particular command hand. What is it? Recon Division. Nope. What was the other one? Flexible strategy. Yeah. So you have it's the two Pip 3s I had. Flexible
Yes.
strategy and Affirmative General. I basically got to move things all the time.
Yeah, no, I think that's the best thing about the 212 is now you've got two 3-pip cards that allow you to do free speed, free movement, I should say,
Yeah.
in Republic, and it could be really really good for your general or for your core for anyone that has cumbersome. It's just a really good move.
Oh yes, 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 yes. But yeah, I curse the cumbersome stuff on the Mark II turrets now these days. So that's my little gripe. But I'll keep that for me. I'll keep that for me.
Harvesting
It's like
some
B1.
resentment towards them, or harboring, I
Yes,
should
because it's
say.
like B1's light is what they are for me. There we go.
Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate you sharing your 212th list and your tournament stuff. I think it's really good insights to know that the 212th is probably not going to be the greatest at outflank, and then what kind of command cards you
No.
decided to use and bring for your 212th version. And I think that's good advice for a lot of people who are interested in learning about the 212th and kind of like what to do, or at least a few ideas while it's brand new.
Yeah, learn from my mistakes so you don't make them. That's how I'd go with that.
Well, thanks for joining, man. I think I'm gonna wind up ending today with that, and I think it's a good chance to talk about the 212. So thank you for joining in. If you're again free next week, it'd be nice to get another little chit chat. If not, thanks for.
Hey, Monday nights are a bit of a quiet night this way, and to be fair, I'm in Benham as well. So yeah, but no, no. Thanks for having me on. Cheers for having me down and talking rubbish.
Yeah, of course, anytime. Hey, all right. Before you leave though, you have to do your southern accent.
You want me to do my Georgia accent? Well, I do declare, Mr. Shadow Scout, you are asking too much of me there, sir.
See now, yeah, that's perfect.
I do try myself to keep your accent going on, my friend. Don't you worry about that. It may
Well,
vary from time to time, but yeah, that's
hey,
that's that's pretty much where I go, really.
that's good. That's really good. You got to keep that
Hey,
up.
this is it's the influx of American TV and a misspent youth. That's how that goes.
Yeah, you got that. That East Southern. That Savannah kind of feel.
If I just add the chicken noise, I could be the chicken lawyer from Futurama.
Yes, you could. Yeah, that'd be absolutely perfect for
So
Southern meal
so
stuff
what
too.
happened? So now you have to do your generic British accent now. That's the thing.
See, I don't know if I can do a quick British accent. I don't know if I'm like quite north or if I'm quite south, but I feel like I'm talking like what's her name from the American British or the American Office, the British lady.
You're talking a little bit like you are. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's fine. You've gone what I would call estuary English and that's other. That's all good. So you're doing Catherine Tate.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, that's all good. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just this little tiny island has about big accents from north to south. And another day I can show you them all. But today is not that day.
No, well, I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. But thank you for having me on your show, and I'll see y'all next time.
Yes, thank you so much for joining.
Cheerio.
All right, man. I'll see you. All right. That has been our our session today for the 212th and for everything else. I appreciate you guys joining in. Canadian Bear, thanks for joining up and hearing us out at the end here. And yeah, thanks guys for watching. Darth Vader doesn't like younglings. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Thanks, Pally, for joining in. Thanks, Seaton, for joining. So I hope you guys will join next week and you enjoy it. So thanks, guys, and y'all take it easy. I guess I should do the Who knows? Bye.